Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys Blues, 1975. A using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawn Boys Post 1975, and welcome to the Wednesday vlog. Other side of the house, different side of the house, mainly because the sun's up on the other side of the house. Oh look, by the way, look at me, doing a Wednesday vlog on a Wednesday in the morning when I got home from work. Who knew? Yeah, sorry about the past few weeks. Anyway, yeah, sun's on the other side of the house, it's coming up, there's a beautiful frost. I love frosty mornings, but that means there's no cloud and it's like staring into an event horizon, so I'm going to do it here. Why not? Angle of the camera's a bit weird. It makes me look like I've got a double chin. I haven't. And the chair makes you feel like I'm on Mastermind. Anyway, enough waffling. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I mean, you've read the title. I always do that. This you know, you could... These things are practically scripted, how I introduce the start of my videos. Yeah, you've read the title, which is, have you ever bought something knowing that it was kind of difficult to get your hands on, purely and simply to sell on, to make money? It's now, before you say, hey, where the hell did that come from? And I have, but I didn't. But we'll get to that, and that's why it's a kind of interesting question, because there's so many grey areas in it, and we'll kind of get to that as well. But it's a very thorny subject with some people. Anyway, yeah, so it was second break at work, and because we've got a 20% day coming up, and my mate, he's really toying with buying a Switch, mainly simply because he wants to play Mario Odyssey. So he went and asked the guy who, you know, who's in charge of the area and said, can you just go and check, you know, and he went with him, whether or not there are any Switches in stock for, you know, next week, and, you know, if I decide to get one. He came back to me, and I said, were there? And he goes, yeah, there were. He goes, oh, so you might be interested. They had a couple of, you know, mini SNESes. He goes, they actually had two. And I was like, wow, we've actually got a mini SNES. I'm quite surprised. And he goes, wait, dude, why don't you buy one? You know, take advantage of double discount, buy one. You could flog it on at Christmas for, you know, more money. And I was like, no, not interested in that. You know, second of all, you know, it's not gone the route of the original, you know, mini NES. You know, the mini SNES, yeah, they're out there, you know, you can find them. And he goes, but what about CEX? By the way, I've just found out it's pronounced sex. Really? Really? I am not pronouncing it sex, CEX, because that's not how you spell sex. And second of all, I find it really uncomfortable to call a game store sex. Anyway, never mind. I goes, don't worry about CEX. They just dropped the ball on fucking everything. They're just greedy bastards. Anyway, it got me thinking, because you know, I thought, well, would I have done it if they were, you know, as hard to get as the previous one, make a little bit extra money, or make a lot of extra money based on, you know, the markup on the original one for Christmas, you know? Some parent who really badly wants one, some collector who really badly wants one whose order fell through, and I thought, no, do you know what? I wouldn't. But it's interesting, it's the reason I want to ask this question, which is, have you ever done that? You know, do you pride yourself on being like a community player, a nice person, you know, quality and fairness in the community, you know, in gaming, all things like that. But have you ever done it? You know, like, were you brassic or broke? You know, many reasons for doing it. So do you simply wanted to make a quick buck? Now, the thing is why it's an interesting question, because lots of people are like, resellers, bastards. There's a difference between a reseller and someone who, you know, acquired something, well, not deliberately, or didn't go out of their way and took advantage of the fact that it was worth something. You know, that's not necessarily reselling, you know. That's kind of, I don't know why my dog's scampering back and forth continuously. That's, I don't know. This is why it's difficult, and I want to know what you think. Because selling something for some profit, or selling something for market value, is fine. I have no problem with that. You know, see, market value is not to be confused with people who scalp, you know, and stuff like that. And also, then you could argue that morally wrong, but is there anything really, really wrong with scalpers, in the sense that it's not illegal, and ultimately the fault lies with the individual who wants to pay the price? And if the individual wants to pay the price, then the scalper's doing nothing wrong, even though you can argue that these people who pay the price therefore enable people like the scalper to exist. You know, it's a whole running around in a circle thing. That's why this question kind of does my head in, so which I thought I'd ask you. You know, as I said, it doesn't define a person. There's no right or wrong answer. It doesn't make you evil. It doesn't make you a, you know, a saint if you have such, you know, like such a stance on it. But I thought, yeah, once upon a time, we're talking many, many, many moons ago. Believe it or not, my original Wii, my second Wii now is the one I bought from Cash Converters because I wanted to mod it and didn't want to fuck up my original Wii. Since when I modded my second Wii, I then sold on my original Wii years later. But yeah, we all remember. See, I just came back in the country, and at this point, I just had a GameCube. Because I went the route of buying a console that I never had before, or when I was away or stuff like that. So I thought, when I came back, I'm not going to get a PlayStation 2. Can't afford to buy a new console. Here's the key thing. Can't afford to buy a Wii. Certainly can't afford a 360 or a PlayStation 3. So when we found out that it was so incredibly difficult, and it became the toy or the video game system that you had to have at the time. Newspaper articles about people embedding their Wiimotes into TV screens and stuff like that. It drove this hype and this fury, and the fact that you couldn't. Although I suspect it was greatly created by Nintendo. Oh, really? Even then, drove this, this insane, appetite for people to have it. Once again, anything at Christmas, the must-have toy at Christmas. People were selling them for stupid, stupid money. And I didn't want one at the time at all. I didn't get one. And then it's funny because I think it was very late November in 2007, and I still had my GameCube, and I was still completely and utterly happy with my GameCube. And then it was on the news again, and they were going, oh, this year's Christmas #1 toy, or most wanted or anticipated toy, once again will be the Nintendo Wii, because stock levels are so low. People are selling it for this. Parents are going crazy, and they will pay this money to not disappoint their kids. And I mean, I remember thinking at the time, being a cynical bastard, what, really? Second year in a row, Nintendo, I call bullshit. And then I thought, I don't want one. I can't actually afford one, So, maybe I should buy one and sit on it and then sell it at Christmas and make a shitload of money. And just so you know, I wasn't like, never done it before. Didn't do it then. Never done it since. Like I said, it was like, deviation, which is I have bought stuff or come across or just naturally through the process of time inherited duplicates. I've never ever, sold them for ridiculous money, like absolutely ridiculous money. But I've sold them for market value. Maybe a little bit less than market value to not be a dick. But I've never been someone who's gone out of his way to make money or, pursue, there's nothing technically wrong with it, even though, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth and a lot of other people's mouths. But yeah, so, I have sold stuff, but it's never been of the purpose of to acquire to make money deliberately, And also, that's one thing I want to say, which is just because you don't like the price of something, and I don't mean scalper price, if a price is the genuine market value price everywhere, you not liking the price does not necessarily make that a dickish price. Again, this is why this is a loaded gun. So I went, and I think it was the fact that someone said, good luck, you won't get one. The news said, good luck, you won't get one. I think I kind of justified in my head buying one simply because, A, I'll sell it, make some money. And B, don't tell me I can't get one. I'm me. Hey. Han Solo, cheeky voice. Hey, it's me. But really, deep down subconsciously, I was buying it for me. That's why this is kind of a funny story, even despite the question I asked. So yeah, I remember going into Broadmead or Cabot Circus or whatever. No, it's Merchant's Quay. I hate the fact that we had to change the name because of the political correctness brigade. And I went around every single game store there, mainstream stores like Argos, catalog stores, stuff like that. And not a single person had one. And I thought, hey, do you know what? There goes that. And then I went in Game, of all people, and I just walked up to the counter. There's hardly anyone in there. That's why it's funny. Last week in November, there's hardly anyone in there. They had no signs anywhere saying they had any in stock. I just asked the bloke behind the counter, and he said, yeah, we got them. We got a shipment of them. We got about 60 of them. I was like, holy fuck. If I had a brain, I would have, well, it wasn't on Facebook at the time, I would have said, hey, kids, go here, you can get one. So I bought it, and again, my brain was still kind of, trying to justify it. So I paid half on my credit card and half on my debit card. And I got home and I thought, yeah, I'll test some water now. I'm going to, see if I can make any money on this. But here's the funny thing. I didn't open it for a week, but I didn't make any inquiries. I didn't try and sell it. I didn't see if anyone wanted one, see what the going price was or anything like that. I didn't care. But I was still kind of justifying the purchase to myself because I really couldn't afford it. I had to pay it. That's why I put it half on my credit card because I knew I was going to keep it so I could pay it off slowly and stuff like that, But yeah, so I kept it for a week and didn't open it. And then it was weird because I was upstairs one day and I was bored with my my GameCube. I had nothing to play. And this thing came with 3 games. I could pick 3 games. It had Mario Galaxy. Obviously, it came with Wii Sports. It had Mario Galaxy. It had Metroid Prime 3 and I cannot remember what the other one was for the life of me, but it was, I'm pretty sure. No, it was The Simpsons. Oh, poor choice there, Dave, because I got to pick them. And yeah, and I thought, I got this downstairs, and I got motion controls, I got the, the must-have gift in the world. I thought, bollocks to this, I'm going to open it. Because it was like that bit in Superman 3 when he fights himself. Literally, I was looking at myself, like subconsciously, and just thought, you didn't fucking buy this to sell this on. You didn't, you knew you couldn't afford it, so you had to come up with some way to justify it to your subconscious and ease your way into it. You knew this was going to open. Kudos to keeping it sealed for a week. And so that's the story of how I came up with, the full story, because I told it before, which is I kind of went out my way just to see if I could get one, because being told I didn't. But I justified it to myself by saying I was buying it as kind of a business proposition, if that makes sense. But I wasn't. Again, it was just self-justification to myself. So that's why I'm asking this question. Have you ever done this? Was it the same as me? Kind of that, because we're all like that, sometimes trying to justify it to yourself when you can't really afford it. Or did you do it? Did you sell it? Did you got no qualms with it? Did you make a lot of money? Did it leave a bad taste in your mouth? Would you do it again? So I really want to know. Have you ever gone out of your way to buy a system knowing that it was hard to get simply to sell it on for money? And as I said, technically there's nothing wrong with it. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I can say that because now at the end of the video I didn't do it, and as you know I never intended to. But morally wrong, right? Grey area, but as I said, people want to buy it, then are you really doing anything wrong? I wouldn't do it, but yeah. So I really like to know, maybe it's just me, when this kind of brought this up, that, at work earlier on about me thinking about this again. Maybe it's just me kind of overanalyzing and stuff, but it's an interesting thing, particularly in video games, and retro games, and, well, the gaming community in general. So I'd love to know, let me know in the comments down below, unless no one has, and then it'll be empty and a dust bunny will blow through. And also, bad start, bad end. Hey, I'm consistent. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.